Hello, in this video I want to explain the universal buffer AI. This is an expert advisor that can trade indicators, and it doesn't trade only one indicator, it can trade almost every indicator. For example, custom moving average, stochastic or Bollinger Bands. But it can also take custom indicators from the market, for example. And you just have to specify the buffer here and the conditions, and then it will trade the indicator. Here you can choose a second, a third or a fourth indicator. Here you can specify trading values, for example the lot size or take profit and stop loss. And here you have more options, for example trailing stop loss, break even, partial take profit. And here you have some filters, for example a time filter. Maybe you don't want to trade in the night, so you can enable this filter here. And here you have a day filter. Maybe you don't want to trade at Monday, so you can disable it. And here you have the indicator inputs. So you can specify 20 inputs, and you can then also optimize the inputs. I will show later in the video how you can optimize the inputs. Okay, let us test the first indicator now. This is the custom moving average, and we enable it here. Custom path can be empty because this only matters if you select a custom indicator. But now we want to test the moving average. So what is buffer buy, what is buffer sell? For this purpose we select just the custom moving average from the indicators and go to colors, and we see here the moving average is at position 0. So we can type in 0, 0. Candle start, candle end. We can select 1 because the second last candle will be considered. This is candle 0, this is candle 1. Condition buy. The value must be above the moving average. So what kind of value? We go down and see value buy, and value buy is candle close. So it means candle close must be above the moving average to open a buy trade, and vice versa for sell trades. We can press OK, and I also wanted to go to the inputs. You see here the inputs of indicator 1, and we can type in 3, and here's the moving average period, for example 50. And why do I know that the input is at position 1? So I go again to the indicator, double click, go to inputs, and I see it has 3 inputs and the period is at the first position. So because I know that, I can go here and I can type in the inputs here. So I want the period of 50, and I want also an exponential moving average. This is at position 1 because it is an enumeration, and simple is equal to 0, exponential is equal to 1, and so on. And I want exponential moving average. So this is the reason why I type in here the number 1, because it's an enumeration. Enums can be replaced with their int equivalents. Press OK and let's start it. So now it downloads the history and it trades the moving average. Here you see candle close is below the moving average, so a sell trade will be opened. Here candle close is above the moving average, so a buy trade will be opened. And let's go to this candle here, and we see here why is here no trade opened. This is because I selected renew, because the signal must be fresh. Renew signal must not occur on candle end +1. If I select preserve, what happens now? Let's check. Now it will trade always if the condition is valid. You see, you have now always trades, but I only want to trade if it crosses the moving average. So this is the reason why I select renew. Okay, now I want to select the next indicator. I disable the first indicator and I enable the second indicator. This is the MACD indicator, and I want to check this indicator. It has 2 buffers, it has 3 inputs, and I want to take the first buffer. And what is the condition now? The buy condition is if the first buffer is bigger than 0, then a buy trade should be opened and vice versa. Okay, so I don't select candle close, I select custom value, and I select 0 and 0, and 0 must be below the gray bar and a buy trade will be opened and vice versa. Press OK and start. Okay, here for example, the bar goes below 0. This is the reason for the sell trade. Here the bar goes above 0, and that's the reason for the buy trade. Okay, let's take a look at the stochastic indicator. What's the buy condition? The buy condition is if the blue line goes above 20, then a buy trade should be opened, and vice versa, if the blue line goes below 80, a sell trade should be opened. And what is the buffer of the blue line? The buffer is the position 0. Okay, let's go to the expert advisor. I enable this indicator. Buffer buy, buffer sell is the position 0. Now, if 20 is below the blue line, then a buy trade should be opened, and vice versa for sell trades. Press OK and start. And now we see here a buy trade was opened here. You see here the blue line was below 20. Here the blue line was above 20, and at the end of this candle the buy trade was opened, and here you see a sell trade. The blue line was above 80, and here the blue line was below 80. and here the sell trade was opened. Okay, now we want to test a custom indicator. I go to the MQL5 website to market and go to MetaTrader 4 to indicators, and we select the first one here, pip finite trend pro, and we want to download the demo version. Yes, I have MetaTrader 4, open MetaTrader. Okay, now we see in the market folder we have the pip finite trend pro indicator. I go to indicators and I select this indicator and let us test it now. And we see how it looks like. It has basically two lines, the green and the red one, and buy trades should occur if when the green line appears, and vice versa for sell trades. Now let us take a look at the buffers. So, okay, the green line is the first buffer, and the red line is the second buffer. Now I go to Expert Advisors, but before I do that I have to copy the path. Go to Expert Advisors and select Custom Indicator, paste the path here, buffer buy is 0, buffer sell is 1, and now I select exists, so the condition, the line here must exist to make a signal valid, and we can ignore the last 4 inputs. So now we see here the line changed from red to green, so a buy trade was opened here and it went into take profit here, and here the green line turned to red and here was a sell position opened and it was stopped out here. Okay, I downloaded now also another indicator. This is the Advanced Currency Strength 28 indicator. It measures the strength of currencies. For example, the white line is euro and the red line is US dollar, and you want to open trades if the gap between the white line and the red line is bigger than usual, and you can take a look at the buffers. You see that the red line is at position 0 and the white line is at position 1, and now you can just copy the path and paste it into the Expert Advisor, and now just set the correct inputs here and then you can trade this indicator. Okay, we want to combine now two indicators. We want to select the custom moving average, and we also want to select the stochastic indicator, so we enable it here. And now let's press OK and let's test it. So now we have some trades here. Let's check it out. If the stochastic was below the 20 mark and went above, and if the candle close was above the moving average, then we open a buy trade. Let's go to a sell trade. The moving average is above the candle and the stochastic is overbought, so we open a sell trade. Okay, let us take a look at the results or at the graph. We see 17 trades have been opened, and we want to optimize now some inputs. For example, I want to optimize take profit and stop loss. Start is 0.001, end is 0.008. I want to optimize more inputs. For example, the moving average period. Start is 60, step can be 10, end can be 120, and I also want to optimize the MACD inputs, the stochastic inputs. Start can be 2, step 1 and 7, and here also and 7 and 7, and select the inputs here, input 1, input 2 and input 3, so it will also optimize these 3 inputs, and select here optimization and press start. Okay, the optimization has ended now. Let us go to the optimization results, and here we can maximize the profit, for example. These are the inputs with the biggest profit, but we can also maximize the profit factor. And these inputs provide a good profit factor, and I want to take this one, and I set input parameters. I go to the properties, and now I see here the optimized inputs. The moving average period is 60, and the stochastic inputs are 2, 2 and 2. And press OK. Now I want to take another look, and yes, here you see the optimized strategy, and the results look much better now.